We've all been told to be humble, to be nice, to be likable, and honestly, it all feels small, suffocating, so why would we even do that? Like that time you were in a meeting and you stayed quiet even though you wanted to say something but you didn't want to disturb. Or that time where you wanted to ask a question but you didn't because you were afraid that you would sound stupid. Yeah, all of this ends today. Because you are about to step into your main character energy and fully own your life. Because there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel and act magnetic and owning it. It's not shallow, it's just self-respect and self-trust. So if you've been shrinking yourself just for the sake of being accepted and liked by everybody else, this is your turning point, okay? This video is going to end this today because you will finally embody your magnetic power and be yourself and own your story. So let's get started. Main character energy is about taking autonomy of your own path and your own narrative, choosing what kind of life you want to live. It's about being self-assured and self-trusting and completely in agency of your own life decisions. You make those decisions and you also hold yourself accountable for each of them. And this main character energy sets boundaries and it speaks up for itself. Because when you are the main character in your life, you are way more intentional with your choices and you actually do things that align with you rather than trying to do things that align with everybody else. And it's not disregarding others at all. This is a very common misconception I hear, that being a main character is actually being selfish, but this could not be further from the truth. It's absolutely the opposite. Because it's ensuring that what you do aligns with you, like I said, and main character energy is about acting like life is happening for you, not to you. You are not trying to act like a victim and you live a happy and fulfilled life. You choose your own narrative, therefore you are more content and fulfilled, and you give that energy back because when you are a happy person, you spread happiness, you spread kindness. So all in all, being the main character in your life is just owning your life decisions and being in full autonomy of them. It's acting intentionally and making and choosing your own narrative, choosing your own path and being aware of how much power you hold. So that is holding power over your emotions, responses, your career, your choices and all of these other things. This is when you don't ask for permission, you just give it to yourself and you fully own it. So to make it a bit clearer, let me give you an example of who is the main character and who wouldn't be. So for example, when you are a main character, let's say you have a lot of traumas from your past, right? But you don't reinforce that narrative anymore. You know that even though yes, those things might have been out of your control, you don't let them shape you as a person now, and you use this to your advantage. You learn from them and you move on. And the opposite of a main character is a person that basically just stands by. They just do not engage in anything in their life, and they don't really understand that they can change their life and how it goes. And they basically never really take control of their lives. Like they don't even really realize that they can. They just act as if life is happening to them and they're just victims of life. And this is not what you want to do. You don't want to be a side character, and over here we are just all about being main character in our own lives. So that's what you're going to be doing from now on. So before I tell you how to become one, I just want to tell you the benefits of being a main character, because I think they are actually very, very important to list, because I think they also show you that being a main character is not surface level, it goes much deeper. So number one thing that I want to mention in this list is that you stop waiting for people to show up. You finally show up for yourself and you give yourself everything that you need, and this exact behavior, this attracts exactly the same thing into your life. So people that are bare minimum, they don't align and they will not come into your life, because you are already giving yourself so much and you therefore allow only the good into your life and only whatever matches what you are giving to yourself. Number two, you land opportunities faster, and that is very, very true, because as a main character you are self-assured. Like I said, you have a lot of self-trust, so you are not scared of taking risks. You are not scared of being bold and experimenting with your career, with choices that you make. So that basically puts you 10 steps ahead of people that are just scared of failing and scared of trying. Number three links to number two, and that is that you grow much quicker and progress much quicker than others. Because when you are bold with your decisions and when you are not scared of taking risks, you just know that whatever comes out of it is either a lesson or a success, and that is all you need, because both are as important. Number four, you become self-aware and regulated, because when you act like a main character, you are way more intentional with your choices and how you live, right? And that also lets you understand who you are as a person. It lets you heal your wounds and your limiting beliefs and everything else that is blocking you and stopping you. You just become so much more regulated and so much more mature emotionally and in general. Number five links to number four, and that is that you understand yourself much more. It is pretty self-explanatory, but it's essentially meaning that you understand everything that you do and you understand why you act in certain ways and how you why you feel in certain ways, and you understand your needs, you understand what you want from life, and therefore you make decisions that align with it. And number 6 is that you can give to others and you can inspire others. And most of the time that exactly is what happens, because when you act like a main character, you are basically fully owning your life and making things that for others seem impossible. Therefore you inspire others and you open up their minds to success, and you become that person that they admire. And honestly, I could keep listing all day, but I think these ones are, in my opinion, the most life-changing things. So now that you understand the benefits and what being main character really means, then let's talk about how to actually become one and the practical tips for embodiment of that energy. So number 1 is stop comparing yourself. Listen, this is one of the most important things I think on this list, because comparison never makes sense, and that is something that I'll always be saying until the day I die. Comparison makes zero sense. Everyone starts from a completely different point. Everyone's journey is unique. Everyone has a different set of adversities, advantages, lessons, and things that they have to go through. Different set of skills, knowledge, wisdom. It just doesn't make sense to compare yourself to others' journey. It's as if you were comparing climbing a mountain to swimming through an ocean. It literally makes no sense. Number 2 is listen to your wants, needs, and passions. You should become curious about yourself, okay? You should become interested in what you actually like. So maybe what excites you, what makes you empowered, what makes you happy, what makes you move forward, and so many other things. Make sure to actually listen to yourself and ask yourself those questions. Get to know yourself, because maybe you really want to include an aesthetic bedtime routine, or maybe you want to say no more often and more confidently. The more you tap into what you truly want, the more you take autonomy of your own life, and you stop waiting for people to show up for you, and you finally show up for yourself. Number 3 is cultivate self-trust. Now, I've spoken about this a little bit before, but without self-trust, you can't really be a main character. It just won't work. You need to start learning how to listen to your gut feelings, to your instincts, to your decisions, to your ideas, how to trust them. Because you really need to stop second guessing every single decision that you make, because as a main character, you should know that whatever comes out of it, like I said before, either will be a valuable lesson or a success, and both are as important. Both are a blessing and are adding into your growth. And even if something doesn't go as planned, it's about learning how to adapt and move on from it, rather than just completely give up and crush under the pressure. And remember that self-trust grows each time that you come back stronger from each adversity that you faced. So don't be afraid to fail, because that will only benefit you. Number 4 is solo dating, and I think solo dating is something that is literally the most main character thing and the most cinematic thing that you can do, because you also become so self-loving when you do this, and you are happy and content with your own company. You are not waiting for people to show up for you. You are not waiting for people to finally book that ticket with you and go to that country. You are not waiting for these things. You just provide it to yourself. You are your own provider, and that will attract those kind of people into your life as well, because you will not accept any less. So list things that you really want to do and do them by yourself. Book that restaurant and dress up for it, and make sure there's no distractions. Don't look at your phone, because that is not solo dating. Be present. People watch, or just listen to music. Just see what's happening around you. Trust me, you will thank yourself for doing this. Number 5 may sound a little controversial, but stop being vulnerable with every single person that you meet or allow into your life, okay? Because there's so many toxic people that will use your vulnerabilities against you, especially because they might find you intimidating. When you act like a main character, there will be a lot of people that will act like you're taking up space, or you're being too loud or too confident or whatever, because they are intimidated by that. When they know your vulnerabilities, they're just gonna use it against you. You give them power over you. And don't take it the wrong way. It's not about not trusting anyone ever again and never opening up, but being selective with who you open up to. And number 6, speaking of being selective, be selective with your circles and who you surround yourself with. Your environment shapes you so much more than you think. Being the main character is not about being alone and never speaking to your friends again and cutting off every single person that you met, but it's about being a person that allows people in that align. Because main characters, they don't accept people just because they showed up and show the bare minimum. You have to surround yourself with people that actually inspire you and motivate you and make you feel like you are aligned with them, rather than someone that is completely draining you and draining your energy. Because your energy is so precious and it shouldn't be given out like free candy. Not everyone deserves access to you. Number 7, accept who you are while doing inner work. So like I mentioned, it is about doing inner work because no guide will help you if you are still blocking yourself from doing something. So you need to address these things, and that can be your mental health, your limiting beliefs, things that maybe are holding you back from your past, maybe your current circumstances, whatever it may be. Address it and try to work on it one step at a time. And while you do that, also accept who you are at your core. Maybe you're a person that is really honest and open. Maybe you're very outgoing. Maybe you are very artsy. Whoever you are at your core, accept it, because the more authentic you are, the more magnetic you become. And everything that is authentic about you is the most magnetic. And number 8, and one of my favorites, is romanticize your life. Every small moment in your life deserves to be cherished and fully lived through, okay? So make sure that you romanticize every single thing that you do. It may be lighting a candle while you eat breakfast, or listening to jazz when you are doing your self-care. Maybe putting an ambience video on your iPad and reading a book. These actions, romanticizing your life, it literally makes your life look like a movie, and I absolutely love that. And this is something that makes you happy. And don't listen to people that say that it's cringe, because if someone says that it's cringe and delusional or whatever they say, it clearly shows that they've never done it and they don't understand how it works. Romanticize your life, you will not regret this. So are you ready to step into your main character energy and fully own your life? Let me know in the comments, and let me know if this was helpful. And a little announcement, I recently launched a podcast called Main Character Frequency, where I talk about all things self-development and how to become a main character in your life. And actually the first debut episode is about that. So if you're interested in a bit more detailed guide on how to become a main character, then make sure to check that out. I will link it all down below. And as always, make sure to connect with me on my other socials as well, where I post daily. I will link all of them down below. But other than that, I hope to see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.